Well, we are live. Welcome to another wonderful Wednesday here on Passive Prospecting, YouTube for Real Estate. And does the studio look a little different? Yes, it does. Moved into a new house and kept the old one, by the way, of course. Never let go of real estate. Never let go of real estate. So let's see here. I just got a notification that we're live on the channel. That's pretty cool. I know I get that anyways, but what's up, Chrissy? How's it going?
Hey, it's going good.
So has it been 2 weeks? Have I?
2 weeks. I was running the show by myself for 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. How'd it go?
It's good. Lots of great questions came in. We did a channel review on 1 week, and then we just did lots of questions the next week.
All right, cool. Well, that's good. So we had a good podcast yesterday. We talked about shorts. Well, actually, I kind of went off subject 2 or 3 times, but we kind of talked mainly about shorts. So that episode will be coming up. And you know what I realized too is I did this podcast I did an interview yesterday, and I realized I haven't brought any of my books in here. So
tisk.
Yeah, and I was going to put it up on display because they were asking about it. And
well, I'll put mine up. There you go, for everybody to see if you don't have one for yourself. Although mine's flipped for some reason, but don't have your copy yet. Go get it.
No, it reads the right way.
Oh, okay, that's good. For me, I don't see it that way. So
yeah. Okay, so that's good. So what's new in YouTube land?
Everything's changing in YouTube land all the time. But, I think a lot of people are finding that a huge change for most people is just the thumbnails. I mean, overall, a lot of people are seeing that they need to kind of change up thumbnails. That's been kind of the overarching theme the last couple of weeks. We've been working on that with our video editing clients too. So just kind of switching up the look and feel of things to try and make things look a little bit different than the next guy. We have a lot of people trying to do the same thing that we're doing. So it's always good to be different.
Yeah. I was going to see what I was bringing up the channel, and I was going to say maybe we could watch. Maybe we're going to get our 23,000th.
Oh yeah.
So that's coming up right here. So yeah, it's funny just like looking at the channel. I wonder if I have to refresh or if this is just going to
probably have to refresh. I feel like that's a static picture.
Populate. Yeah, I'm wondering if that changes. So anyways, we released, we can talk about this real quick, is that we released 2 videos. Let me see. Well, I'm just wondering now if I go back. I don't know if it'll update. I may have to refresh. Let me try one more time. Nope. All right. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, at least the Living in Dallas, Texas channel, make sure you
go do it.
What was I? A couple of things was we tested out a couple of videos this last week. I'd say really mainly one, but 2. We tested a video with a new team member that's actually running today. But last week we were testing out. We've had this Bronco video, and something that I did this Bronco event like about 2 months ago, probably. So I have a Bronco, and there was this Bronco off-roading event to go to. I got invited. Actually, it was funny. We went to dinner one night, pulled up in the valet lane in the Bronco, and then another pretty good-looking Bronco pulled up right behind me in the valet lane, and he jumped out, and he was like, "Hey, love the Bronco." I was like, "I love your Bronco." He's like, "No, I love your Bronco." I was like, "No, I really love your Bronco." And he's like, "Hey," he owns a custom body shop where they build like $200,000 to $400,000 carbon fiber Mustangs and all kinds of stuff in there. So really, really cool. He's like, "Yeah, we're doing this Bronco off-roading meetup event." I was like, "Man, that sounds awesome." He's like, "You should come." So I was like, "All right, I'll do that." And then I thought, why don't we just make a video out of it? We'll take Alex and we'll go, special delivery. Oh, she said stop. Thank you. Can you grab a book, please?
A book?
Yeah, pass the price. Yeah, thank you. All right, I got the iced Americano going. All right. I didn't have time. I know before everyone starts trolling, I would have made it myself, but I I've literally been on back-to-back meetings. I recorded a pros and cons video this morning at 8:30 in the morning. That took me about an hour. And then had a meeting at 9:30. That was an hour and a half meetings at 9:30. And then we had our team meeting. And then that went 30 minutes over. That's usually an hour. So that went 30 minutes over. And then I was like, I got to eat something. So went out, ate some lunch, and it just came down to time. I was like, I just don't have time to, because I always have an after lunch iced Americano. Thank you. Oh, thank you. You're live on camera, by the way. I know. So anyways, Kimmy's nice enough to make me an iced Americano because I love to have an iced Americano after lunch. It's my after dinner aperitif. No, digestif. I guess aperitif that's pre-dinner, right? I don't know, but maybe it's a digestif. So that's pretty cool. So where was that? Oh yeah, did the Bronco off-roading event, and that video really sucks right now. So
it flopped.
Well, we say it flopped, but I was actually talking with somebody else, somebody I work with on. We talk about the channel every other week. So he's the producer for another. For a very well-known influencer. So we get on a call every 2 weeks and he'll kind of run through things. It's funny though. So he said he's been mostly stumped by the channel. He's never seen analytics quite like ours, which are pretty much the exact same almost on every video for the real estate. And so, because normally you look at things and you're like, okay, I can change this did better. But I don't know. I think we create very consistent videos for the channel, and that just and he also noted, he was like, man, you've got a ton of returning viewers, and so he goes, that just could be creating the consistency in there. And he was actually excited about the Bronco video. He said he was like, man, I love the Bronco. He goes, I like to see you do a little bit broader topic, and he goes, I'm curious to see how this does in 30 to 60 days. So he's kind of playing the long game, which is what we always talk about. But we do gauge how well our videos are doing, from the start. And I like to see momentum. I'm always trying to get, a number one spot, because it'll rank your latest video out of the top 10. And I always want to be number one. I want to be number one on every one of the new videos that we publish, so that that tells us we're always doing better. But so the Bronco video, not doing so well right now. But it also played into, we talked a little bit about this on the podcast yesterday too. It plays into a little bit about how we've recommended not to do interviews and full on, like, I'm going to go do a review of this coffee shop. Again, I mean, it's just not, I don't think you were on that portion, Chrissy, but this is where I was explaining that I just don't think that's high on people's priority list when they're looking to make a move. They're not researching the best coffee shop or the best restaurant, because I think everybody assumes that if they find the house they want in the neighborhood they want, with the school district they want, with, being close to where they work, that there's going to be good restaurants and coffee shops around. I mean, I think it's just everyone's assumption that it's just not they're just not worried about it. Just like off-roading, you're off-roading your Bronco, maybe some people like to do that sort of stuff. Even less probably have the vehicle to do that. And that's probably last on the priority list when they're moving to Dallas, Texas. Yeah. They're probably not going, hey, honey, we've got to be close to a off-roading place. So let's research off-roading, places that are close to.
It's a very small niche.
Yeah.
You've got, somebody who's obsessed with Broncos is probably 1 out of 1,000 people you're probably working with, right? Like, it's not enough to really make an impact on your search volume.
Yep. So let's see here. We got a question here. By the way, thank you for joining us today. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you haven't subscribed to Living in Dallas, Texas, subscribe there as well.
Go check it out.
Yep. And it's okay. If you're a real estate agent, I invite real estate agents to watch the channel. Number one, we would love to do business with you. Number two, I think they probably watched the entire video because they're studying and researching. So you real estate
You're helping us out.
Probably good for the view durations.
Yep.
Now I'm in a new office as well in the new house, and I've got big windows right here. So luckily it's overcast right now. I'm not too much of a glare. I may need to start putting on powder. Getting a little shiny, but it's okay. I'll adjust the lighting in here. I had to turn off my actual lights because I don't need them, and I have the lights off in this room, and it's like I'm still just. But when I filmed that video this morning at 8:30, man, it was looking good. That nice natural morning sunlight, and I need some. Can you hear my chair squeaking? I need some WD-40.
Yeah.
Yeah. Need some WD-40 on that. So whenever I'm filming a video, I have to be like very
like a statue. Well, we have the same chair. Mine does the same thing. So
yeah, okay.
Mine's just in white.
Yeah, I bought mine off of your recommendation.
I know, and they're squeaky. Mine's not as bad as yours though.
Yeah, I did put some WD-40 on it, but I didn't find the spot apparently.
Shoot.
Let's see, Ryan. What's up, Ryan? Ryan says, hey, Levi, I have the same Ulanzi selfie stick and Movo WMX mic that you used in the very, okay. Did you ever have a problem with the cold shoe mount breaking? What's the cold shoe mount? Cold shoe mount. What is that? Is that this thing?
There's replacements for that if that's the thing that broke.
I actually don't know what a shoe mount is. So it goes to show that you don't need to know all the technical terms.
But if that is what broke, they're easy replacements. They're just a screw in.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I just Googled it. I guess it is this little piece.
Oh, that part of it. Oh, gotcha.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. If you have the same one, I've had selfie sticks break on me before, and it's not a very expensive selfie stick. It's probably just
this is $20
to buy a new one.
This is $20. Yeah, I'd probably just buy a new one. It's $20 on Amazon. But I still have the same one. I've had this thing for, I don't know, 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still going strong.
That's the original one you started with, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize that's called a shoe mount there. So,
but there you go. We learn something new every day.
All right. They're schooling me on. There's a copy of Passive Prospecting right there.
Mm-hmm.
Put that over right there. I just realized now, usually in my old camera angle, it was just perfect. So, yep. Well, Ryan, I think it's probably time to buy a new one. So you should be okay. What's up, Robert? See, thank you for including your name. It's always the living in channels, and I'm going, all right, who are you? Who are now? I mean, I know most of you guys. Living in. So what's up, Robert? What app does editing team use to create the keyword captions on the shorts?
Sorry to say it, but it's Premiere Pro. We do it by hand. So there are some apps out there that you can do it with, but if you want something that's Hermosi style, which is what a lot of people are asking for, that is a manual process on Premiere Pro. So no shortcuts for that as far as we found.
Yep. We were just at, so hold on a second. I have to take this call because I'm expecting something. 1 second, please.
We need the elevator music.
Well, you can take over.
Hey, I'm happy to do it. But yeah, I can just with Premiere Pro, when you do it, it is nice because Premiere Pro does have some AI features now. So if you are an editor and you're doing this on your own and you do understand Premiere Pro, there are some AI features that you can use. They have spell check included now. The captions creator is a lot more sophisticated than it was before. Unfortunately, you still have to go through and make sure that the placement is where you want it to be. You can turn the captions into graphics now. So that's what we do, is we turn the captions into graphics after we've generated that. But yeah, it is a manual process still. for the most part. You can template some of it once you've done it once, but it's not really, it's not really a super fast process. You're talking between, sometimes it can take 2 or 3 hours to do one reel. So if you're wanting Hormozy style, that's the price you kind of have to pay. And we do it through Premiere Pro. Let's see. Let me see if I can pop in a few more of these questions. Let's see. Renee and Kevin in Arizona. Let's see. Curious about AI thoughts. I see TB is now incorporating as well. I'm not 100% sure what you're referring to with TB. Maybe you're talking about a video editing program, but yeah, AI. We use AI for certain things on our team. I do think that there's only so much that AI can do as far as the SEO is concerned. It can definitely generate and help you with ideas. We sometimes use it for generating new ideas for videos, or we'll use some of our content that we have and have, we pull ideas from the content that we do have, thanks to some AI tools that we have. So I definitely think it can definitely cut down your time that you're spending, especially on the content creation and the ideas side of things. But I think there's still quite a bit of manual work that goes into things. And you need to keep in mind that AI is not going to be able to optimize something as well as a person's going to. So we still, on the video editing side, the SEO side, we still do 99% of it's manual. We go in there and we do a few little generation of TubeBuddy is a form of AI, really. Using their keyword generator and things like that. We definitely use TubeBuddy. So I think that you have to kind of balance it out. And I think the people who rely too much on AI from the very beginning are probably not going to get as good of results as somebody who knows that AI is only going to take them a portion of the way. So I definitely think you need to start using it. I think if you ignore AI, you're probably going to get left behind, but I would also not put everything in one basket with AI, because you're not going to get everything optimized correctly if that's all you're relying on. Props to you in the Living in Dallas channel. I'm in the DWY program and I look at your videos for ideas every day. Awesome, Vinny. I can't wait to have you in the video editing side. I think I've seen your name pass my desk a couple of times. So that's awesome. As soon as you're ready, let us know and we'll get you all hooked up with your kickoff call and everything. Same as Robert, wondering the simplest way to get captions. Yeah, there are some tools out there if you want just basic captions. Instagram, I will say, Instagram has really upped their game on their video editing program. They have a Reels editing program that they just launched, a very new and improved editor for that, and you can download from Instagram and put it onto places like TikTok and Shorts and things like that. So I think that's a really good option if you're trying to do something quickly, pulling something directly off your phone. Their captions are really accurate. They've worked really hard on making that a really simple process. So I think if you're looking for basic captions, then going with the Instagram automatic captions is great. There's other, automatic caption generators out there that are good. They're not quite Hormozy style, but they're good. So I think that there are apps out there that you can pay for if you want to do it that way. We're hoping to be able to offer a short service here in the coming months. So that's going to be an option for people as well. But yeah, ultimately, I think it's most of the time it does take, if you want it to be really sophisticated, to look like something like Alex Hormozy, which it's like, that's the catchphrase for everybody right now. And that's what everybody is wanting to do, is the Hormozy style captions. And so if you want something like that, where there's lots of motions, overlays, all of that stuff, it's very involved. It takes almost as long as a full length video when we do it on our end. So it's definitely worth it, but it does take a lot more time. So you kind of have to balance out, do you want to do more quantity or do you want to do more quality on the short form content providers? That's kind of up to you. Yeah, Hormozy style. We call it Hormozy style just because Alex Hormozy is a creator on Instagram and TikTok, and he's very, very popular right now. He has a huge reach, and he's in the fitness industry for the most part, but he also is a motivational speaker, and a lot of people are really, they feel like those captions, they're very engaging. And so his overall style has really been in, high demand by a lot of industries. It's not just one industry or the other that's looking at his stuff, but a lot of, business brands are kind of looking to the Hormozy style to kind of format their shorts, which I think is very, very wise, because I think it's very engaging as well. And TubeBuddy. I'm not sure where you were going with that, but yes, TubeBuddy, we do use that. Vinny, does your editing team use Premiere Pro? Yes, we do use Premiere Pro. YouTube, no. So YouTube Studio is not really like a pro editing software. They do have like some clipping options and things like that. You can blur over things. YouTube Studio is not sophisticated in any way, shape, or form. So we definitely don't use that as our main editing tool, but we do use that, to optimize your video and everything. So that's where it will land, and we'll do all of the optimization, metadata, all of the thumbnail will be uploaded there. But all of the offline editing, designing, all of that stuff happens with Adobe products, and Premiere Pro is our only editing software that we use. TubeBuddy announced new capability for AI and Legend. Yeah, there are some AI tools. Now, I will tell you, we did test out a few AI generated thumbnails just to see how they performed, and they performed very poorly next to ours. So that's another example of where I say if you rely too much on AI and you think AI is going to take you to the top of the game, there's still a lot to be said about having custom thumbnails, custom captions, that type of thing. That extra quality and that extra touch is really going to go a long ways, especially on places like YouTube. You can definitely tell a difference. So we have not seen very much success with the generated thumbnails from TubeBuddy so far. We have tested it on multiple videos, and it just hasn't really come out and shown us anything great. So I would still go ahead and stick with the types of thumbnails that you generate outside of that. You can use Canva. We use Photoshop and custom design everything that comes out of our editing program. But yeah, absolutely. I would definitely look into some of the other AI tools that they have. TubeBuddy has other stuff coming out though. So, they're always working on it. TubeBuddy is based on AI. Really, it's like at the forefront of the AI movement, really. Its entire service ranking stuff is all AI. So I'm sure they're going to come out with some great stuff and some new updates very soon. Mosey Nation, we love him. Yes, Alex Mosey is really cool. We definitely like looking at his styles, and overall he's very motivational. So I like to listen to his stuff a lot. Do you offer an editing course where your team would teach us how to edit our own videos? It's funny that you say that, but a little birdie told me that there may be something like that coming out in the future. It's not there currently, but you never know what might be coming around the corner. Just a little hint. Thank you for clearing that up, Premiere Pro. Yes. Good info on the AI questions. Thanks. Cool. Well, we're just waiting for Levi to come back in here. If you have any other questions, feel free to drop those in the chat below. I'm going to check the private chat too, just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Doesn't look like we've got anything there. Any other questions today? We didn't get any channel reviews today. We sometimes do the channel reviews, but we do require that you're in our school group and that you submit them within, an hour or two of this call happening. We did not get any of those channel review requests today. So we'll be back on those next week if you want to submit those ahead of time. One thing we'll ask Levi when he comes back in here, we did get a question earlier, not on the call. Oh, and he's given me the don't ask me a question yet, I'm still on the phone look. I don't know. He just barely moved into a new house, for people who are wondering why the studio is different. And if you weren't with us at the very beginning, he just moved into a new house. So he has been frantically trying to coordinate a lot of stuff behind the scenes with getting new furniture in. And I was on the phone with him trying to work through a couple of design things yesterday, and he was putting new hardware on his cabinet. So always double tasking, always double tasking. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Here we go. So when creating thumbnails, is there a template for the 80-20 kind of thing? Yeah, Renee, are you in our course? We do have templates inside of our course that you can work with. We're always working on new designs and things like that. We actually have a whole set of new designs coming out exclusively for our video editing clients as well. So that's exciting, and those will be launched here in the next week or so. So those are coming out. We've already started to launch those on some of our clients' channels as well. We're slowly working through some new, very effective designs that we've been testing, and they've, it's been really cool to see how they've performed. But yes, in the editing scene, we do everything from scratch. We do have, obviously some guidelines that we follow. Generally speaking, we try to keep, the face on one side, the text a certain amount, only so many words per thumbnail, but ultimately we do create those from scratch on the editing side. And for, the Living in Dallas channel, everything is made from scratch as well. And Levi is back in the building. But he's still on mute.
I was like sitting there, I was talking, I was like, oh yeah, what's going on? How's it going? Yeah.
Tried to pass the mic over to you.
How can I help?
Gotta be off of mute.
Yeah, what's up? What was the question?
So we've just been talking about thumbnails and some design aspects. So actually it was a great time for you to step out because we talked a lot about video editing tools and design stuff and Adobe talk. So got those out of the way, and now we're back to some other questions. It looks like Vinny might have a question about TubeBuddy scores. So let me bring him up.
Let's see. I asked about naming my channel last week and mentioned Delray Beach, Florida, but the scores on TubeBuddy were really, really low. Okay, so
The second part to his question.
Would Florida Coast Homes and Lifestyle be too general? Is scored on 70 and 80%. I would probably just leave off the lifestyle. I would probably go Florida Coast Homes, see how that does. But I mean, again, those are all just guidelines. I would say ultimately, what I've learned is that the channel's probably not going to be searchable for quite some time as a whole. If somebody types in Florida Coast Homes, it's probably not going to pull up your channel. It's going to pull up your videos. So, and they'll see that. And if you have that keyword tagged in videos, once you build up a significant library, that's where it could get recognized as a recommended channel. But that's usually down the road as far as I've seen. I haven't really seen that come out of the gate. So, but I would want to name a channel very concise. So even let's say, I don't know if Lifestyle has a little bit better of a ranking than Florida Coast Homes. I would rather just go with something very simple, memorable, that's easy to talk about. Florida Coast Homes.
Florida Coast Life or Living would be good too.
Yeah, Florida Coast Lifestyle, Life, Living, yeah. But if you want some homes in there, Florida Coast Homes. Or I might go Florida Coast Homes for sale. I'd be curious what that looks like. I just play around with a bunch of different options. But otherwise, I think the shorter the better always, if you can. And yeah, I think you'll be okay. But 70, 87%, 70%, 87%, probably not really a big difference there on making a big difference. So I wouldn't get too bogged down in the weeds on that or get concerned about that. So, but if I'm looking at this, I would say Florida Coast Homes, but I would try a couple of different variations as well and just see what comes out. But again, it's really going to come down to the content and what you do there.
Well, and I would look at the search volume too, because that's something that I always remind people of, is that the score is really not as important as the actual search volume, because you may find that everything in that area is like the highest ranked is something like an 87%. You have to kind of look at the percentage on, especially for titles, kind of subjectively and relative to the other things that you're searching for in your area. So if you're finding that consistently you're getting like 50, 60, 70% on stuff, 87% should be considered like 100%, really. So search volume is really more important than the percentage, because there's so many things that go into that, like competition and I mean, you'll see all of the ranking factors on there. But yeah, search volume is really more important, in my opinion, when you're looking at that.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Vanilla ice baby. Vanilla ice baby. Let me see. Man, that is quite the profile picture right there. Got the little. I'm curious what Vanilla Ice looks like in real life. Congrats on the. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's see. Moving to Raleigh, North Carolina. Today marks exactly 2 months since posting our first video. We have one under contract and one signing later.
Woo! That's exciting.
And you inspired us. Love the awesome. Well, that's really cool. Thank you for sharing that. I'm gonna have to screenshot that now. So that's super cool. Do a nice little screenshot. Otherwise, nobody will believe me.
Just make sure I'm not like blinking in it.
Oh,
seems like every time you get a screenshot of me, it's like me like.
Well, I just screenshotted the comment actually. So neither one of us are in there.
There you okay. Okay, good.
No, you're clear. You're clear. So, I finally got the rug put in yesterday too. So.
Oh yeah, you didn't have that there yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. That I have the sound panels up,
that helps a ton with the sound, I bet.
Yeah, the sound panels cut down the echo probably 50%, and then just adding that rug just knocked it right out. So it's good. And I still don't really have much on the walls yet, so I've got to work on that next. But
hey,
awesome.
Baby steps.
Yeah. All right, 2 months, one under contract, one signing, one go. I love that.
Awesome.
That's faster than we did it. So there you go. Moving to Raleigh, North Carolina. I'd love to check out their channel. Love the book. Awesome. Well, congratulations. Do you ever use teleprompter app or all off the cuff? For me, it's all off the cuff. All off the cuff. Now, the thing is, I've been changing it up quite a bit lately. And if you're in our program, I published a video, or I put a video in there. Technically, Chrissy uploaded it in there, but I created the video. And so what I did was I was thinking about, you know what, I might create an intro for that video, Chrissy, and then publish it on the channel just so people can see. But it's kind of funny because it was a 33-minute video, I believe, after editing, but the video that I published inside there is 45 minutes. So there's 12 additional minutes of me messing up, screwing up, restating some sentences or things like that. So it's the raw video, and we put that inside for our program members so that they can see that and they can see how I do things. And what I've been doing is just increasing volume of content and information inside the video, and I just walked them through how I do that. It's funny, I recorded the video this morning. I did Irving pros and cons, and I think John's gonna laugh because I don't know. I was feeling a little off the game this morning, but I just had to start over so many times. But
you're in a new space. That's understandable. You're out of your element, right?
I just kept going. Yeah, it was good. It was just I think now I know how I operate, so I also don't mind messing up. But it, I'll just reset. And I think what also helped me do this was recording the audiobook. Like whenever I recorded the audiobook, I had an engineer sitting on the other side of the wall with a little speaker beside me. So every single time, if I just messed up or I mispronounced or I said something that wasn't in the actual book, like she was following along, listening, and she'd be like, nope, go back. And I'd have to start at the comma, or I'd have to start at the word before, or, just start at the sentence. And so that just really kind of gave me more clarity to be like, oh, you know what? Now when I'm recording a video, if I'm like this and I screw up, I'll just stop, even with my hands kind of like just like that, and just reversed for, maybe 2 words.
Yeah.
Or maybe 3, or I'll just start the sentence back over again. If I start the sentence back over, but it's funny because I know John now this morning, I just felt like I had a lot of start stops, and the camera's rolling the whole time. So that would also be a good raw video show. And the funny thing is like, I'll just stop there for sometimes and I'm going, okay, what did I just say? I'm thinking, I'm like, okay. And then I just, okay. And it's like almost like back in character. Yeah. But what I started to do too is I've have some things kind of written out, and I can just duck my head. If I duck my head and I start reading, and I read 2 or 3 sentences, it's just because it's very specific information. I want it to be exactly right. And John now knows that, if I look down, he's just going to cover that up with B-roll. Mm-hmm. So it's a very good synergy in working environment with the editor whenever they understand you, right? And then at the end, I noticed that I had missed like a small paragraph of something I was going to say. So whenever I was done recording, I didn't stop recording. I looked at the camera and I was like, okay, hey, John, I'm going to go back to pro number 2. Just add this one section in after after pro number 2. And that was my instruction on the camera. And then I just went down and I go, okay, blah, 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 and I read off like 2 or 3 more sentences, very simple. And when he gets to that part, now he'll be editing the video. And what's going to happen is when he gets pretty much done, he's going to get to that clip and go, oh, okay. And then he's just going to cut out that clip and go and place it right where I told him to do that. So, and then he'll chop up all that other stuff. And the funny thing is that I think I'm just even more comfortable with messing up now because the way, John edits and the way we've, there's a lot of cuts. And so even if I don't mess up, he's still going to add in some cuts in there, just to kind of like, or zoom in or zoom out. Those could be cuts, just, it looks where I don't skip a beat. If you never hear me swallow or say, that's because he cuts that stuff out. So
you don't really say, anyway.
Yeah. That's a practiced habit right there. I tried to do my best not to say, but if I swallow, everybody has to swallow. And some people have really big...
Even as you said that, I swallowed.
Yeah. So swallows that's a very, very short pause, but an editor, it's amazing what editors do, right? And they can just go, just cut that one little, and it just looks like I'm just, I'm like Max what was his name? Max Headroom?
Oh, yeah, I think I know.
Remember that guy?
Yeah.
You're not old. Are you old enough for that?
Yes. I've heard that name before. I know who you're talking about.
You've heard the name before. Oh, I just saw MTV News finally shut down.
That was a long time coming.
Yeah. Oh my God. I didn't even know
MTV's still here.
They still did news, but it was funny because that was always the running joke. I think in the late 90s, is that when MTV like stopped being music videos? It was just
all TV. Like all the house, like the crib videos and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. What were they? What was that? What was their popular reality show?
Wasn't it the crib show?
No, it was the house, where they put the 7 or 8 strangers in a house.
Oh yeah. I can't remember what the name of it was.
Was that the start of reality TV? Really?
It probably was. Because I remember I used to watch music videos on there all the time, and then they started putting all the reality stuff on it. That's when I kind of stopped watching it. So I always thought the reality shows were so dumb on that channel. So,
but I don't think teleprompters are all that bad. The problem with teleprompters is that you've got to write that script ahead of time. And that's a lot of writing for a 15 or 20 minute video. So that's why I don't like to do it. I'll grab bits or pieces. Like I said, if I want to talk about a community, I'll go to that community's website and maybe I pull off 2 or 3 sentences of them talking about the community, which they usually have really good stuff to say about their own community. And so that's something very simple to do. But the reason I don't use a teleprompter is mainly because I don't want to script all that stuff out.
Well, and it makes you feel stiff. Like I find that the people who rely on a teleprompter, there's some people who do it really, really well. Don't get me wrong. Like I've seen some videos of people who you could never tell that they were using a teleprompter unless you had a trained ear for it. But I find that 90% of people who use it, they're like this the entire time. They don't move their head, and you can tell that they're reading a teleprompter. Even in the inflections in their voice, I think unless you're like a speaker that's been doing this on stages for years and years, it's going to be pretty hard to get past the teleprompter voice. And so I just think that it's not very authentic, and people kind of turn off when they hear you kind of talking in a scripted way.
The most fun of using a teleprompter, though, is trying to figure out the speed at the beginning.
Oh, and that's another thing. It's like literally impossible. There's times that, and especially when it glitches too, and all of a sudden it's like, whoo, and you're like paragraph behind or a paragraph ahead?
And it's so Travis and I we have used teleprompters on for ads. Just because we have very specific copy. Somebody has written that copy for us, and like we did a 6-minute ad. That's a lot. I mean, to kind of freestyle that, but we use the it probably took us 2 hours to film 6 minutes because first of all, you have to match, especially if we trade off, then you have to have a flow that it matches both of your reading styles. But so many times it would go faster. And so we'd be like, and we're going to be, or it would go so slow and you would just catch up to it. And then you'd be like,
then you're waiting. Yeah.
So if I'm reading that, I'll be like, do you ever use a teleprompter app or all off the cuff? So you waiting for so then you have to find.
They're unpredictable.
Yeah. But
and it's hard too when you don't have another person. Like I know they've got the apps and stuff like that, and they've gotten better. But I've worked with people who use them, and it's like unless you have a second person there to kind of monitor it, it's really hard to use. And I just find that it takes more time, and it's just not very authentic. People they can sense that on the other side, unless again, if you're like someone who's been on stages your whole life and this is what you do, and teleprompters are easy for you, you've used them a ton. I just find that it makes you feel very stiff.
Yeah. I mean, if you can do it naturally, now Travis got scripts, like he was doing a bunch of reels content, and he used a teleprompter on all that stuff, but he can read it very naturally and make it look, if you can use head movement, gestures, and that type of thing, you can read in a natural state, then there's a way there it could work. So now the reason he did that is because he had a copywriter. He was like, hey, write me I think it was like 300 real ideas for real estate. And so that way he was like, boom, he could just pop them in the teleprompter. You didn't have to sit there and it was literally just record one after the other. So which is pretty cool. I mean, that's not bad for Reels content, but
yeah.
So let's see here. We got Renee and Kevin, AZ Living. What's up? Like that red jacket. So in Keyword Explorer, I see the search volumes for exact search. They show the number of videos for that search time. So assuming those videos could get served for either exact or similar searches. Yes.
I'm not understanding the question. I mean, it's possible that if the question is it possible that they'll all go to the same audience? The answer is yes.
Assuming videos could get served for either exact or similar searches. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I think keywords, as much as we love to believe it's an exact science, I don't think it's an exact science. But I think we're pretty good on the terms and the guidelines. We follow those. Clearly, we're able to get videos ranked based on key terms. But I mentioned this, I believe, yesterday on the podcast. I just said, look, every time I learn something and I think is kind of like a rule or a very hard guideline, I will see the exact opposite that is successful. And it kind of makes me question things. But I know that works. I know what we're doing works. I know that optimizing for keywords, but can that video show up in multiple different searches? Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I could look at, actually, let me share the screen again and go back. Let's do a refresh, drum roll, and 23,000 subscribers.
That's awesome.
So let's go on to, let's just check out a video. Let's check out this one. Dumb agent. I love that thumbnail. It's pretty good. Looks like it, it's supposed to look like something else. So if I scroll down here, this is why I look at all the different keywords this video is ranking for. Ooh, right now it's ranking number 1 Dallas real estate. That's what I want. So it ranks number 1 Dallas real estate, Dallas, Texas real estate, number 1. It ranks buying a home in Dallas, number 6, buying a home in Dallas, 24, Dallas TX real estate, number 2, So, man, that is good stuff. I like that. Dallas 36 or Dallas. All right. Living in Dallas. So you'll see here, these are all the different key terms and where it's ranking at right now. So we got, and I love being number one for Dallas, Texas real estate. So that's pretty good. Buying a home in Dallas, Texas. So all these different key terms, that video is showing up different rankings.
Keep in mind, if you're thinking, oh, I'm in the Dallas area and I'm going to snag those keywords, keep in mind that your keyword use is only as good as your keyword use throughout your description, your title. Like, it's a combination. So you're welcome to take some of those keywords, but know that you may not rank number one if you don't do your description correctly.
Yeah, I actually don't take those keywords.
I was surprised you were showing the keywords list, but hey, we're all about transparency here, right?
Yeah. Well, oh, that's funny. So look at this. So I was like, let me just confirm just in case. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, I can see us going into the vortex of unending screens.
Hold on. Let me share the right screen. Present, stop screen, present, share screen, window, this one. So I just did the search on YouTube, incognito window, and I put Dallas, Texas real estate. Now that's an ad. So an ad's always going to pop up first, but look at number one for Dallas, Texas real estate. It's that video. So it's telling us right there.
And then number two is also our video.
Oh, I know. I love that. So, I don't want to scroll past that anymore because I don't want to show any other video. But I'd have to look at, let me see. Actually, I'll just look real quick, see what else, who we got. Well, we got the number 1 and 2, so I'll take that. There's some.
And we're ranked all over the first page.
Yeah, I like that. Ooh. Let me see. Now I'm starting to go down the rabbit hole and look at all the other stuff.
All the other people coming up.
So, yep, that's pretty cool. I like that. Living in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. If you have a second market for me, Iowa City, would you create a second channel? Oh, so she's in Cedar Rapids and then Iowa City. Yeah, I'm not clear on geography of those areas. So let's see here and see. Let's just. We
had a question kind of like this last week. I mean, if it's someplace you're like actively going, I mean, I gave the example of I live in Northwest Georgia. So we live on the corner of Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia. So within, a few minutes, you could be in any other state. So a lot of times, if that's the case, then sometimes like one channel is fine. But, it kind of depends on the proximity. And if you're really driving to all these places, or if you have teams in these other places, and that's how you're doing your referral business, or, it really kind of depends on how big the area is and, how much search volume is coming into your particular area. Would you benefit from having multiple areas, or is there enough traffic for each area for it to stand on its own?
Well, that's only 27 miles. It looked so much further. I mean, we do so much business in Prosper and Frisco, and that's like 27 miles from Dallas. So, but here you've got so much separation in there. That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, if you're serving both markets and you're willing to work both markets, then I would probably include, but they're kind of like such different.
If they're big cities and they have like traffic that can stand on their own, I don't know.
I think you could have Iowa City. It looks like it's smaller than Cedar Rapids, of course, but I may put Iowa City as a playlist and maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and if you're working both markets and you're willing to drive, then that could work. I mean, but also, the market. So you might want to just think about who's your Cedar Rapids client, who's your Iowa City. Do they ever intermingle or interchange or intermix, or are they like two completely separate, clients? If they're two completely separate clients, like night and day between these two cities that may be separated would work. But, if you really want to focus on driving traffic to one channel and just putting everything you can there, and then you make videos when you're in one area or the other, I may go with one channel,
Yeah.
So, right now, we're doing a ton of business. We still do a ton of business. We always have, in 95% of it in northern suburbs of Dallas, not in Dallas, not even in Dallas County. So we continue to make content on those areas, even though it's called Dallas, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, that may be more of a one channel deal right there. Oh, there we go. Max Headroom. Yeah. Yeah.
He's like the creepy blonde, like fake newscaster, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess he was like AI, before AI.
That's true.
So that's cool. Let's see. It's about time. MTV hasn't been about music for a long time. Yeah, for sure. There we go. We definitely sparked a good conversation.
Yeah.
Big Brother. No, it's not Big Brother. So they put the Real World, right? That's what it was called, right? Real World.
Oh, yeah. It was something like that. But they put all these strangers in this house, and it's just pure drama, right?
Was that the show Real World?
It was just a show about absolutely nothing.
Yeah, the Real World, 1992. Yeah. 33 seasons. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, the Real World. Yeah, that just popped in my head. So
33 seasons of nothing.
I remember that was all the craze. Another Big Brother. Nope, it was the Real World. Oh, here you go. Oh, Real World was the MT. There you go, Troy. You two are. Thank you.
We like to have fun.
I don't know. It works so much and do so many meetings. This is like our cut up hour now, right?
Yes.
Live.
I had back-to-back meetings this morning too, Levi. So this is nice.
Yeah, it's nonstop. So we had a really good team meeting call. I don't know. I might have to publish that one. I felt like I talked for like 45 minutes, and it was about looking inward versus outward, and just something that I just wanted to refocus the team on. If you're not happy where you're at in your business, your life, whatever the case may be. Of course, we were kind of leaning more towards business in the real estate career. Could be your YouTube journey, your YouTube channel. We got to look inward first. A lot of times it's easier, or we default to looking outward, which means what are the outside circumstances? Who are the outside people? Who's holding me back? What am I not getting enough from somebody? And it's like, no, we got to stop first and say, okay, where do I need to do better? Where do I need to improve? How can I get better? This is a long game. It's a tough one too. We create our own competition now. Doing these calls, there's people in Dallas right now watching this, and it doesn't stop us from doing this. And more channels are popping up in Dallas every day. But you see what we do. That dumb agent, that was a brainstorm between the two. Chrissy knows. Every week I'm on her back, right? In a nice way, I'm like, hey, she may come out with something, or I'm just like, that's not it. Oh no, we need to change that. No, we need a different thumbnail. We need, that's not the right title. Let's try something, and then if we have a couple of options, let's A/B test. Every single week we're looking at, how do we do something better? And the dumb agent video, that was really, clearly it was optimized for Dallas, Texas. Wasn't expecting it there to take over those keywords, which is awesome. That was the intention, I guess, on the optimization side. For me, it was more of an educational piece, but that's where Chrissy will look at these types of things and say, okay, I think I can optimize and, get it here. And so, it's just an ongoing process, but I don't know. I might have to publish that team call. I was thinking about that. I feel like it was one of those videos where it's like, watch the next 45 minutes to change your life.
No, that would be really good. Well, and I'm sure we can use it for shorts too.
Ooh,
Send it my way.
great idea. Let's see. I use teleprompter and use to do off cuff. I kind of like the teleprompter as I don't forget anything. Yeah, and that's right. Or you can do like what I did. I forgot something and I just recorded it at the end of the video and then told the editor, "Hey, go add this in right at this spot." So that way, if you like off the cuff. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, I think do what works. That's the only thing we recommend though with the teleprompter is that if you're reading it like word for word and like Chrissy said, your head is still and people can see your eyes going like this because you're following the teleprompter and you're going, then that's kind of like, I think that's the turnoff. But if you can try to read naturally and I remember, I think in fourth grade, I went to UIL and I would do, was it maybe it was called creative reading, I think, but
oh yes,
yeah, I did creative reading and creative writing. I used to write. Actually, I won in fifth grade. In fifth grade, I won third place in the writing contest, and then in sixth grade, I won first place in the creative writing school contest. Yeah,
there you go.
Beat out like 100 other crappy sixth graders. No, I don't. I remember. I think in fifth grade, I wrote a story about, I don't know, traveling on a hot air balloon or something. And then sixth grade, I wrote the story about traveling to the core of the earth. I don't know. I just made up this story. That I built my own little machine. What's funny is we used to go to Mazzio's Pizza every Sunday after church, and we never ate out. So my mom stayed at home, cooked every meal except breakfast, and we ate, Honey Nut Cheerios every morning for breakfast, and then of course eat at lunch at school, and then she would cook dinner every night. So we only ever went out. I never went to a mall, never went shopping for clothes. Everything I bought was from garage sales or from my two older brothers. So I really got at least my oldest brother got all of his stuff from garage sales. I had to get my stuff from my two older brothers and garage sales. And we never shopped. I mean, none of that stuff. I mean, we very, very, I don't want to say poor, just they didn't have money. It was a pretty good, I mean, I never knew anything different. So, wasn't a big deal, but I forgot where I was going with that.
Creative writing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, pizza. That's the thing is we'd go to Mazzio's Pizza and I would get $1, $1 for games. Like that was my allowance each week was $1 to play video games. And of course, at that time they were, I guess, $0.25 a piece, so I could play 4 games. But there's this one little spaceship. It was just like a round ball. And it was like and you jumped in there, you put in $0.25, you moved the joystick, and you could just kind of like go up and down. It wasn't anything special. Go up and down. And I remember I'd just sitting there and just dream like of flying that little spaceship, all around, and it was pretty cool. And then I think that's what inspired the inspiration or the thought of, I built this video that was like that, except it had a giant drill on the front of it so that I could drill and go down to the core of the earth. So anyways, it won.
There you go.
I wonder if that's in my old school. My mom has this old thing of all my grades of school. Anyways. All right.
I won one of those in first grade. First grade was my year of glory. So I still have my little book when I won at the writing competition. I think that's probably why we work so well together, Levi. We both won our creative writing competitions.
Exactly. There you
go. Back to our roots. Psychologically, I feel free. I understand myself better now.
Plus, you are the female version of me. So
that's true. Our personality tests were like spot on. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, we do personality testing, not the regular stuff. We do the hardcore stuff. And with all of our people. And it was funny because Chrissy is me, just the nice version of me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, curious why you have multiple titles per video. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. A/B testing. So we do a lot of A/B testing through TubeBuddy, and different titles can work differently. So it's really just interesting to see what the preference is. And so sometimes it's just wording things differently. And that's instead of testing a thumbnail, we'll test a title. But we may test, Dallas, Texas new construction versus new construction in Dallas, Texas. Just really even positioning just different like that. Just curious what may work better. So we'll test that.
Well, and if you're also talking about like the brackets that we have, because we usually have 3 brackets with different like title sentences on them. The reason we do that is because kind of the longer the title, the more niched down you are. And on the local SEO level, you want it to be a little bit on the longer side to try and fit more local SEO keywords into your title. So generally speaking, when you have like a broader search term, you'll sometimes see like things like Mr. Beast or videos that don't really have like a local audience. They're going to be a little bit shorter, a little bit more like in your face, less keyword centric. When you're trying to niche down, you want to put more keywords in. And so that just helps us rank a little bit better on the local level.
Yeah. Vinny says, sweet. Congratulations on 23K. Thank you. Thanks, Vinny. Gwyneth in the house. Oh, she says it was the real world. Yeah, I guess I could have went down in the comments before.
Yeah.
Google, but we have our own Google team right here on the chat. All right, can you outline of how you organize your digital assets such as video clips, photos, etc., to be found and reused? Trying to organize the Drive filing system right so I don't lose my mind. So let me see.
Folders and subfolders and subfolders and subfolders. That's how we do it. I just would create a folder for absolutely everything. The way that we do it in the editing program is we tell people to create a dedicated Google Drive folder. And then for each video, you create a subfolder within that folder. So on Levi's side, we have one that says Living in Dallas. And inside of Living in Dallas, the vlog name is exactly the same as the title that he puts into our workflow system for the task card. So that's usually how we do it. That's how we do it in the video editing program too. It keeps things very organized, makes it and so you can find things easily. And then of course, you don't lose your mind in the process because you can have a lot of files in there. And if you're basing it off of just the file name, it's really easy to get things mixed up, especially if you're using outside editing. They are not going to like you sending them 60 clips for 5 different videos. So I would definitely do subfolders within folders.
Yep. There you go. And Journey to the Center of the Earth, the original classic. Yes. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm probably sure I saw that somewhere. That could have been part of the inspiration, but I remember I drew a picture with I don't think I submitted the contest. That would be funny if I could find that picture, but I remember just drawing like the ball with the big drill on the front end. And
Did you ever see The Core?
No, what's that?
It's an awful movie. It's all about, it's awful. It's absolutely awful. I remember seeing that one and thinking that was just a cheap.
That was recent. Was that within the last 10 years?
Oh, no. We're talking like early 2000s.
Okay.
Absolutely awful movie. The knockoff.
Gotcha. All right. You're welcome, Renee. And Vinny says, thanks. All right, cool. Well, I think we came to the end there. Hopefully that was helpful.
A good place to close up.
Got the next meeting on the agenda. And make sure you tune in to Consortia's live stream tomorrow. And also make sure, if you haven't already, you get a copy of Passive Prospecting, the number one Amazon best-selling book. Yep. 3 different categories. We're still holding strong. We're still like number 4 in social media for business, which is kind of cool. So it was funny. I was on a podcast the other day and I told him, I was like, my dream was always to write a thick book. I was like, I always wanted to write a book, but I wanted to write a thick book. I wanted to actually have I didn't want to write like a 40-page ebook, or something like that. Nothing against those. I know a lot of people have done that, but this one's it's a good
She's hefty.
book. Yeah.
It's good.
It's got a lot of gold in there. Actually, I just got a message last night. Again, somebody reached out and was just said, hey, I picked up your book. It's so awesome. Can't put it down. Already through the first 9 chapters, blah, blah, blah. And it's just random message. I was like, that was really cool. So let's see. One last one, Pat Boone and James Mason in the original movie, and Gertrude the Goose with the unfortunate ending. All right, I'll be quiet. There you go. And great book. I literally couldn't put it down. In 6 months, I'll say, I'm glad we did. Awesome. Yep. That's awesome. Yep. That's what I do say. When you hear about this information, or like the couple earlier that said they, saw me speak at Inman, then that's what I say. In 6 months, you're either going to say, I'm glad I did, or I wish I had. And, and once you start, just next thing you know, you're going to look up and it's going to be 6 months later. And you either will be 6 months further in your journey or not. So just is what it is. All right. And how do we get in touch with you? Would like to speak with you about your program. Let me see. Here's a link. Let me pull a link, put that in the chat. You can book a call there. That'll go to myself or Travis. And then if you want to talk a little bit more about the program, but very extensive information in the program, a lot more detailed in the book, just because you have the visual components. Plus we include so many bonus materials on WordPress, Google Business Profile, Pinterest, Q&A. We have all kinds of stuff in there too. It's just, it's not there in the book. The book's a pretty good outline, but it's a good foundation. But the program.
There's just so much more support.
Yeah, it's gonna
so much more. Between the community, the video editing team is there to back you up. All of our team members are in there talking to you. We have access to Levi and I in there all the time. So, it's really a great area, a great community to be a part of. Yeah, that too. You got Gwyneth in there too. Always catching people, catching them here and there. So, yep.
All righty. Well, y'all have a great day. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.